Good morning, boys and girls. Good morning, families from the Grand Rapids Area Library. It's Grandma Nancy here, and we have a really fun project planned today. Hopefully you're staying warm. It's been cold out. If you did not pick up your art kit at the Grand Rapids Area Library, please go have a grown-up pick it up so you're ready to go. And inside of it, you're going to find some black paper. We're going to be using black paper today, which is fun. Typically, we do our drawing and our painting on white, right? And so this will be fun. We're going to be using oil pastels today to make Northern Lights. And you may have heard about Northern Lights. Northern Lights are something that happens this time of year when the weather is cool at night and actually pretty cold, and the skies are generally clear. On the cold nights, the skies are clear. So it's a collision or a crash of gases in the atmosphere around the Earth colliding or running into particles coming off of the sun. And when they hit one another, we have these beautiful, beautiful lights. There's different colors, which is interesting, and the different colors are based on what kind of gases and particles are colliding together. Some of the colors that you might see, if you've seen Northern Lights, you might see purples, pinks, greens, pretty much any color that you can name, you're gonna see out there. So we're going to try to do an art piece with Northern Lights. If your mom or your dad or your grown-up could help you, maybe you want to look through some photos of Northern Lights before we start, if you haven't seen photos of them before, so you kind of get an idea of what it looks like. So you have your black paper because they come out at night. They actually come out generally after midnight. Like from midnight to 4 in the morning. Most of us are sleeping, so you don't always get to see them in person. Also within your bag, you have a wax paper baggie with all kinds of oil pastel crayons. And this is going to be really great. You can keep these, of course, and we won't be using them completely today, so I encourage you to grab some other paper you have at home and do some other drawing with them. They are messy, and we've used them before if you've done a project with us, so you know that. And it's okay that it's messy. It does come off your skin, and it's not, bad for you or anything like that. I have it all over my skin. In fact, we're going to be smearing it with our fingers today, so you're definitely going to have some oil pastel on your fingers. All right, why don't you get your things set up? One more thing your mom or dad or grown-up might want to do is cover your workspace with newspaper. If you're working on a nice dining table, I would suggest doing that because sometimes the oil pastels can actually get onto the table. Okay? All right. Thank you. All right. So I have an example here that I did at home. And here we have the Northern Lights. You can see how I ran my finger across and smeared the colors. We'll do the Northern Lights first, and then we'll add details. I added a moon, some trees, and then I also tore some paper and added that for some hills. It looks kind of neat like that. Makes it a little three-dimensional. Here's another one that I did. Again, I added trees and a moon. I did draw some of the hills on and then put this on top. So I have double hills, and then we have the Northern Lights up here, okay? So this one, you can see that the Northern Lights look different in both of these. This one I did a very thin line, and this one I did thicker and I put my other color right on top of it. I like this the best. You can obviously do a combination of both. That doesn't matter. So first of all, I'm gonna start with my paper like this. And you can pick any color you want to pick. I'm gonna pick this darker green, and I'm gonna just make a nice, thick, curvy line, like that. Your nice, thick, curvy line can curve any way you want. And then I'm gonna add this light green right on top of it. Just like that. Then I'm gonna add white. Now here, you can add the colors you want. What I have found is the darker color should go on the back. The darker color should be the one on the bottom and then get lighter. You could do light blue with dark blue beneath it, or just with the white on top. You could use dark blue and light blue, no white. I like the white though. Can you see how it's spreading out just like our northern lights do? You have to push hard with your finger, and I'm going in one direction, and I'm spreading that out. If I see a place where I don't think it's spreading enough, I'm gonna add another color, and I did the white. The white spreads very, very nicely. And you see these little pieces that fall? They kind of come undone. I just use those as part of my art. I just keep pushing those around. Okay, I think I want a little bit more spread here, so I'll add that white and going in one direction, picking up those little white stragglers, and there you go. In fact, I love those little stragglers that come off. Okay, so that's one little, and you can always go back in after and add more, but I am ready for another one now. So I think I'm just going to do, I would like to do an orange. And I will maybe cross over. You don't have to, but you want to keep a squiggly line and pretty thick. And then I'm going to use a yellow to go on top. And I'll use the white. I like how the white goes. I'll turn my paper so I can get the best push out of it. I'm just gonna push that color along. I go through once and I see that it's not pushing as well as I would like it to. So I think I'll add yellow here and push pretty hard on that. And then we'll see what happens. Oh yeah, that's better. That's giving me more of a northern light look. And then I need more there too. So really what you want to do is keep playing with it. It's impossible to add too much color. You can just keep playing, rub those colors together, and you're gonna get a nice Northern Lights look. So I'm gonna give you some time to work on this. And you might wanna cover your paper as much as you can. Notice I'm leaving a little bit of the bottom, and that's for my snowy hills that I'm gonna have in there. You can do the whole paper though. Some of you might decide not to make snowy hills. So however far you want your northern lights to go, they can go down, okay? So I'd make maybe 2 or 3 more, make about 4 or 5 with different colors and see what you come up with. We'll come back in a minute. All right, do you have some northern lights down? I hope so. They're just so fun. Dion just said, it looks like they're dancing, and it truly does. In the real world, the northern lights actually are moving. The lights are moving. So you want to kind of have that effect of moving. And see my fingers? Look at your fingers. Now that'll come off, so don't worry. I feel like this is a good amount of northern lights, but at the same time, I want to make a little something coming in here. So I think I'll do that with green. And I'm not going to make it, I'm going to make it just a little bit lower down. And maybe I'll put some blue on it. The thing is, all these colors go together. The blue's nice and soft. And I do like how the white comes through, so I'll get some white in there. And you can notice that I'm not really thinking about getting it perfectly on there. And then I'm gonna rub and rub. Oh, there's some of those little things I just love. And I'll get those going out. Get those going out. There we go. Oh, I like that, don't you? So maybe you want to try, if yours are all the same height, maybe you want to try some higher ones or some lower ones or whatever. These really bolt out nicely, don't they? Okay. I like it. I think it's really pretty. So now we have a couple of choices. If you want, again, you don't have to do this. You can make it a little ground way down low. I'm going to make that this is happening on the horizon. So I'm going to make what looks kind of like hills. Okay? What looks like hills. And then I'm going to color that really lightly, but I am going to leave a little bit of a black line between my hills and my coloring so they look three-dimensional. They look like they have some depth, right? So we'll do that. We'll come over here. Some places I might go a little heavier to give it some volume. And some places I might go very, very lightly. And stain not right next to it, so I have maybe a shadow of how that hill falls, right? And then I go over here. You don't have to be doing this now. You can just watch because I'm going to show you a second thing that you could do, which I find very fun. So there I have some hills. I like those. What I'm going to do is take one of my sheets of paper. I'm going to take a scrap paper, but you have a whole another couple of sheets of black, so you can just take one of those. And I'm going to not cut it, but I'm going to tear it so it looks like it's hills again. Okay, so that's just a torn piece of paper, and it's going to go on top of here, but to really make it interesting, I'm going to take it, and I'm going to squish it up. Be careful not to tear it, but you really want to squish it. You really want to squish it. And then I'll open this up carefully again because I don't want to tear it. Move those to the side for a minute. And I have this hill, but it's a winter scene, so I'm gonna go across. I'm doing this fairly lightly. I don't want to color it solidly white, but because I want to, the white gets picked up by those wrinkles where I squished it, which I really like this technique. Now I'll go over it again. Make sure I have every one of those wrinkles covered so they all show, right? Okay. Now, we did not include a glue stick or glue in your packet today, but what I'm hoping is your adult can find some glue or a glue stick at your house if you decide to do this. And again, you don't need to do this one. This is just if you want this added technique, okay? There we go. I really like this. And then I take it and I glue it down like that. So I actually have some hills in the background and then in the foreground. I made both. And you can do one or the other, whatever you want to do. Now I'm wondering if I want to add a little bit more. I think I do. I feel like it's kind of empty here in the background. And so I'm going to make a moon. And let's see. I think I'm going to make a blue moon. And I like full moon, so I'm going to make a whole full moon. These oil pastels are so nice because it just colors in so smoothly. I'm hoping you're enjoying it. Then I'm going to give it a little bit of a shadow with the darker blue on top. Then I want to come in and do my smear method again. And I'm going to go in one direction. And that gives my moon a little volume, I think, don't you? Okay. Then maybe some trees. So you can make trees how you want. This is kind of a fun way and an easy way. I'm simply making lines at an angle. That's all I'm doing is angling these lines. And then if you want, you can make a little trunk. I'm going to make maybe a couple more. And make one more. I'm making them all different heights because when I go in the woods, they all seem to be different heights, right? And there you go. So I like it. I realize I'm not putting any trees on this side, but that's okay. I kind of like it not perfectly balanced like that. And maybe, I just can't resist, I'm going to put in some more, just a little teeny bit. Where did I put my white? Oh, here it is. I meant to put the orange first, and I didn't, so I just make it work. And there you go. You have a picture of the Northern Lights. All right, hopefully you have a nice finished product. I like mine, I really like it a lot. And you may want to, you know, if you want to add a little fox or something walking on the hills, you could certainly do that, okay? Now you notice that after doing the full project of Northern Lights, you still have a lot of oil pastels left. So I would keep those in a little Ziploc baggie. Don't keep them with your regular crayons because, you know, because they're messy and oily, they might, you know, make a little bit of a mess. So just keep them back in the wax paper bag or a Ziploc baggie you have at home so you can take them out and use them again. And try to draw whatever you want. Draw some flowers, looking forward to spring. You could draw a snowman, and then you can get the nice blended piece of artwork. All right, I had a great time with you, and we'll see you again in February. Have fun.